Alright, so I have an aunt uh, who happens to love pie and one in particular. And so I am going to strap on my apron here. I am going to break out these sweet potatoes, turn on the oven, and show you out there, the kind viewers, the good folks, how to make a nice, warm, beautiful sweet potato pie. Enjoy.
I'm gonna bake something tasty. Gonna be crazy. Meow.
We have 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then 2 cups of roasted sweet potatoes. We have 3 eggs and 1 cup of heavy cream. You will want to put these out on the counter for about an hour, let them get to room temperature before we mix everything up. So I'm going to roast these sweet potatoes in the oven. They're going to go in the oven for 425 for about 45 minutes, until they're tender. What you want to do is these sweet potatoes here. I'm only going to roast. I got about 2 fairly large sized sweet potatoes. But what you want to do is take a fork and poke some holes in the sweet potato before you put it in the oven, because what this will do is it'll release some steam and help roast it all the way through. I like to roast my own sweet potatoes rather than going for something out of a can. Tastes better, definitely better texture. If you're a sweet potato pie lover, like my aunt-in-law, you can taste the difference. Just wash these up. Just kind of poke holes all along the sides, up and down here, as much as you want, just help out. You want 2 cups of pureed sweet potatoes. This will be about 2 cups, about 2 very large sweet potatoes, or 3 kind of smaller, medium. Hi, baby. We can have eggs. Once we, okay, because I have eggs here for the pie, and she sees them, and we'll take. We can have eggs, yeah. But this is gonna release the steam, help these bake up a little bit. Hey, get out of here! I will get you eggs. Go. She's fine. She's all right. She's watching Miss Rachel. She doesn't need eggs right now anyway. It's 9 a.m. We just had she's laughing and watching something laughing. We just had a banana in a cereal bar. My daughter, before my daughter was born, I would get up every morning before I go to work. I'd eat a banana in a cereal bar. That'd be my breakfast. Keep me going for through the day. But my daughter was born. I'd go to eat my banana, and she'd be sitting on my lap, and she would want the banana. So I started sharing my banana with my daughter. I go to work with half a banana in a cereal bar. Now, lately, this has been the past few weeks. She's been wanting my cereal bar, so I share my banana in my cereal bar with my daughter while she watches Miss Rachel or Brandon Boyd videos. Girl loves Brandon Boyd. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Hey, this is just me. I go for the authenticity of the home roasted sweet potatoes. I mean, why not? We're going all out here. We're making somebody a birthday pie for heaven's sake. But once these bake about 45 minutes roast, I should say, it doesn't even matter. When you take them out of the oven, you'll see we'll get there. But if they're roasted well enough, the skins will just peel right off. And these two mash these up. This should be about 2 cups. I mean, I'm really not too worried about it not being 2 cups. But if it's not, well, yeah, I might be in some trouble. We'll see. Okay, 45 minutes. See you then. Okay, so I just want to show you what these are supposed to look like. Here we go. We've got. They are, a little bit of caramelization from the sugars coming out of these holes here because, it's a sweet potato, sugar. But just a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. But as you can see, the peel comes right off. Very easy. So we're going to mash these up and get about 2 cups. Mash them up really good, and then we're going to put a lot of this stuff just right into the food processor, get it all creamy and pureed, okay? So let me peel these off real quick and be right back. Okay, so I'm going to do the crumble topping. Sometimes I will do a streusel, oatmeal, brown sugar, butter. Very good. For this particular pie, I'm going to do a topping with speculoos cookies. Yeah. But a 1/3 cup speculoos cookies going to go right into the food processor. 1/4 cup of pecans. 1/4 cup of toffee bits. Tablespoon of sugar. And 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon or spices. Let's go with a little Chinese 5-spice, allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of everything. Right all there in 1/4 teaspoon. Alright, we're going to give all this a little whirl in the food processor with 2 tablespoons of butter. That's going to be the topping for our pie. Okay, so this is a recipe where everything's going to go into the food processor or into a blender. I've got just enough sweet potatoes. Those came out perfect. It came out like exactly 2 cups. But I'm going to put the sweet potatoes in here, and I'm going to put in just this vanilla, just give it a little bit more moisture, blend those up a little bit, and then you're going to add in these eggs one at a time, and then the sugar, spices, and then end it all with drizzling in that milk. Just that heavy cream, just a little bit, right into the food processor, right down in there, and until it blends up all nice and creamy. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so this is a lot. I don't know. This is, I got a pre-made pie tin here, 9-inch pre-made pie tin. Usually I go with a deep dish pie plate that I make myself. I make my own crust, and it's a deep dish crust, which this suits pretty nicely. Because this is going into a box as a gift, I went with just 9-inch pan. But this is a good pie, so I'm gonna try to split this into 2 pies here. I'm trying not to overfill, but we'll see what happens. It's going to go into the oven uh, at 350 for half an hour. Then we're going to pull it out, put that crumble on top, and put it back in the oven for another half an hour. Okay, so this is our topping for the pie. Um, 1/3 cup of cookies of your choice. I use kind of the speculoos, the uh, Biscoff cookies. A tablespoon of sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of some spices if you're choosing, and then 1/4 cup of Heath bar or some kind of toffee bits, and 1/4 cup of pecans. You get a nice crumble here. Um, because I was able to get 2 pies out of this, I went and doubled up on this topping. That way we can get a nice liberal coating on top. Um, but you're going to put all this into the food processor, pulse it a little bit, and then you're going to cut in 2 tablespoons of butter, cold butter. Just cube it up, cut it right in there, and you're going to get a nice, kind of like a textured, a nice heavy crumble to go on top of your pie. These are about to come out, and I'm going to cover them both with this crumble and pop it back in here for another half an hour. Okay, so we've got like a liberal coating of topping on each pie. Yeah. Put these back in the oven for half an hour. There we go. Look at that. Nice sweet potato pie with a crunchy chocolatey nut crumble. Okay, so I made this pie and put it in the fridge for a little bit. And this is what you get. This is what you're going to see at the end here. A nice creamy center, holds up really well. A nice toffee crunch with, here we go. Yeah. It's good stuff. Nice toffee crunch, a little bit of nuts. You know, a little spray cream, a little whipped cream. Uses 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. So you're going to have the remainder of your heavy whipping cream container in a bowl, a little bit of sugar, vanilla, and a hand mixer, and just whip that stuff up, whip it up, to get some sturdy, soft peaks here. And there you go. You have pie and whipped cream, and you made it all yourself, except for the crust. You know, this is something I would usually do a cookie crust with, and it's about 35 cookies, give or take 32, 35 cookies of your choice. Usually, I'll go with a really nice. We'll go to the Amish store, and I'll get a really nice ginger snap, and that's perfect for this pie. This is I guess you say an equivalent. Went to Walmart, and these are pre-baked pie crusts. This was a chocolate crust made with nuts and some chocolate. I thought would go with the Heath, the toffee bits. But any crust will do, really. Any crust doesn't really matter. I just think a nice spicy cookie is great for a sweet potato pie, and just as good for a pumpkin pie. This recipe also perfect for pumpkin pie. You just swap out that sweet potato for pumpkin. I do it all the time. It's great that way. Makes it really fantastic pumpkin pie. Um, but, it's really good. Really good. You know, when I worked in a French kitchen, you know, what you see in The Bear, if you ever watched The Bear, amazing show. Very accurate presentations, everything. I mean, this is some spray cream and little toffee bits, but you however you want to present. I feel like my aunt Law is just going to take this and eat it. I hope she'll share. I have no idea. Um, a woman who is a little hard to please, especially when it comes to cooking, baking. She went to a cooking school. I never went to a. I went to a technical school in high school. Went to a technical program where I learned where I did culinary arts and baking and the science of baking. Um, Worked in a couple of high-end kitchens, bakeries, French kitchens. Um, a lot of these things I've pulled together over time. I liked the addition of toffee bits to this crumble. The pie itself is a fairly universal pie. It's a southern sweet potato pie. Which is something denoted. Southern is heavy on the cream and the butter and the sugar. Um, but the thing I love about a pie like this so much is it was kind of the craft of it. It was made by slaves who brought sweet potatoes with them, brought their ideas with them, and they adapt those into the European tradition of a pie. Europeans, may it be quiche or a fruit pie or a closed pie. European style is to put everything into a pie. Slaves took that idea to, cook for their took those ideas when they started to cook, and so they took the sweet potatoes that they knew and they put them in a pie. It's just the brown sugar. The you saw it when they came out of the oven. They were already caramelizing. That sugar and when it's coming out. It's a beautiful thing. It smells good. It's so fragrant. The house is so fragrant. Um, My grandfather was a Southern man, came from Southern Virginia. Uh, Home cook, down home cook. My cast iron pan is his. Uh, he used that thing, the cornbread, big massive cornbread. Um, I made this pie once for him in later years, and he loved it. My rest of my family not so much. I think maybe they thought that potato pie. But I remember my grandfather liking this pie a lot. Um, and then on a whim, just as I suppose as a holiday food stuff to make, I made it on a whim to take to a party, a Christmas party, or sorry, Thanksgiving party 2 years ago. The baby wasn't very old at that point, over a year old, and we're just testing the waters to see how she was going to do out there in the world, And she did great. She was great. She was so sweet, good, and awesome at this party. But anyway, this is, as you've seen, this the totality of making this pie. Yes, it takes about an hour to bake, but whipping it up is no time. Especially if you do want to use canned sweet potatoes, no time at all. Roasting them in the oven obviously takes a little more time. This video isn't as long as the other ones, but it took so long. It took all day to do this, because the baby is really into bubbles. I don't know if you heard her before, the argument with my wife about bubbles. But I was in there, I was cut the pies out, and I was about to put that crumble on, and then she spilled a whole bottle of bubbles all over the kitchen counter. And as you can see, this kitchen is very small. I needed And so it was a mad dash to clean all that up. She was screaming and crying because she not only spilled the bubbles, but she knew that it was upsetting. you know, we're running around and she's just, oh, she's sounded. Um, so it took a long time for me to make this pie. It took a very long time to make this pie. But it's a gift. It's a gift to my aunt-in-law. So what anyway, um, when she was a baby, I wanted to do something quick, but also seasonal. I mean, seriously, pop this pie into the oven and just within minutes, the you could smell the chocolate crust baking. But not long after, I mean, all those seasonal spice, the allspice and cinnamon and nutmeg, all of that came out. It was wonderful. Um, so it's a really good, fragrant, not say not too sweet. Throwing in those toffee bits kind of adds that sweetness a little bit. But it's a birthday, and hey, it's come on, friends. It's whenever you're gonna make this pie, it's a celebration, right? Uh, toss in the heavy cream, toss in those toffee bits. Go make it nice. Um, so yeah, holiday pie, but a fairly quick pie. If I'm gonna condense this down, a fairly quick pie. Um, so I whipped up this pie, and I'm like, we have nothing else to take, so I'll just we'll take the pie. The pie will be our contribution, to be our gift. Usually that falls to me anyway. I'm always baking some cake or pie. So I baked up this pie, and we get through the door. We set things down, and I mean, within a minute of setting down this pie, my wife's aunt uh, rushes over, of course, to see the baby, whatnot, but rushes over and immediately cuts into my pie. I'm like, all right, this is it. I mean, she has immediately chosen to judge my pie. That's what I thought. That's why my feeling was like, oh, we're going to taste this and oh, this is okay. She devoured that slice of pie. Just, I mean, she sucked it down. Wow, wow. And she said, I don't know if you know this, but sweet potato pie is my favorite dessert ever. My favorite birthdays, special occasions, doesn't matter. Sweet potato pie is my favorite thing. And I was like, wow, okay, great. So, it's good. Um, really, put it in the fridge. Of course, put it in the fridge. Um, you can have this warm, fantastic. The chocolate's kind of melting, but put it in the fridge. It's 8:30 in the morning. Right now, it's 8:30 in the morning, um, and everybody's asleep. I always get up because I can't sleep. Bipolar, and I have nightmares. But a great little morning pie. Great, great breakfast. So I'm jumping all over the place here. I don't know what my problem is. I made her this pie, and so cut to a year later, it's her birthday, and we're going out to a restaurant, and my wife's like, okay, so she made this very clear. The only thing she really wants for her birthday at all is that pie. She wants another pie. Uh, and so I did the same thing. I used my deep dish. I have a great Corel kind of floral French pie plate, deep dish. Hold on. And my wife got it for me, and I'm a little protective of my bakeware, but we have a nice large cake tote that is from, I mean, it's like a dollar store thing, but it's got like Christmas trees on it and whatnot. So it's like a holiday thing. So whenever I bake a holiday pie or a cake or something, I put it in that. It's like a nice little presentation. But that coupled with the pie plate, fairly heavy. But I transport this whole thing. I'm like, here you go, take the, and she was just floored. So naturally, it came to an end. Another year, here we are. And I thought, like, just for the ease of transport and gifting, it's not, just make something that's lighter, portable, and ultimately, disposable. That way, I'm not having to wait and get my pie plate back. And then what if I want to make another pie? Man, I'm screwed. I have nothing. Um, so that's how this pie came to be beloved in this family, I guess. I want to tell you, and this thought occurred to me last night about doing this again with the specifically with the prepared pie plate, because this nut crust is just perfect. A little bit, it's definitely chocolate, but not like bam, not like Oreo. I don't know, like Oreo. It's like maybe like a Dutch cocoa in this crust, but it really does a lot to complement this sweet potato. It's not a rich pie. I mean, I would call this pie decadent, but you're not going to sit here and eat this pie and go, oh my god, what have I done? Like a cheesecake or something. But this one recipe, made two pies. I mean, a really fairly whole, full pies. And that just, I never thought of. I didn't really think about that before. About the fact that this large container of, I mean, you saw the food processor container full of pie filling. I was like, this is one pie. I mean, it seemed a lot, and it really, I mean, when you break it down, it probably is a lot. Yeah, much bigger, thicker slices from that deep dish pan. But I thought, what a great idea to, yeah, especially if it is, if you get another box, you've made two pies you just give away. This is a great, inexpensive holiday present. Bam. Wow. Especially if you're the baker, the home baker. People know you're the baker. I've become known. Super dad. I've become known as the baker chef of this clan, and otherwise out in the world at the library. If you remember that cake I made for the library, it's very nice. But anyway, I hope you like this pie. I hope it's good. I'm very happy with it, and you can do a lot of different things with this pie. Another suggestion would be, instead of putting the topping into a food processor, don't pulse it down to the finer bits. Just kind of pulse it up a little bit so that it's crumbled. That way you get these larger pieces of nuts and chocolate and whatnot. And that's always nice visually. But until next time, I hope you're enjoying it out there, having some happy bakes. Hectic as this may have been to put together, honestly, I mean, it was insane. You wouldn't know that by looking at this video. It is for my really terrible video making skills. I cut it together pretty nicely. You didn't see all the insanity that went on. But This pie had to be made because today is the birthday celebration. I'm gonna put this thing into a box. The other one, obviously, not the one I'm eating. Come on, hey, what do you think? And hopefully, we're gonna make somebody happy today. That's the whole point. Hey, cut this pie up, regardless of what you do with it. You know, give it to a neighbor. I want to give a piece of this to my neighbor across the street. She's been having a hard time. Give it to your friends. Give it to your neighbors. And just it doesn't even. It's April, man. It's April. We're eating a sweet potato pie. Look at this thing. It's April. It doesn't need to be November. You know, it doesn't need to be Thanksgiving. Just goodwill. You know, you see somebody having a hard time, or maybe even not. I just want to share some pie. My wife and I had a piece last night after baby went to bed. We just ate pie and watched Seinfeld. It was great, man. It was great. So here's to that. Here's to you finding somebody amazing enough that you can just sit on the couch with a slice of pie that you baked yourself and watch a nice episode of Seinfeld. But, my love, this is for you. So until then, you're doing it. I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job out there. I know it. I can feel it, man. I can feel it. I know it. You're doing good, and you're taking care of the people around you, and you're making good, beautiful, nice, tasty things for them to enjoy. And come on, my friends, that's what life's all about, right? Okay. Be good.